Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama. Oh yeah.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Bhaktimarga Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Use your hands if you like. Jayam Vishnu, Jayam Vishnu Pad, Paramahansa, Paripajika Surya Sattara Sattva His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Buddhi Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Anaman Krishna Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem se Gosi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Vasudev Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Sri Radha Krishna Gopal Krishna Shyaman Kunda Radha Vrinda ki Govardhan ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan ki Jai. Radha Maipur Ram ki Jai. Gangamai ki Jai. Yamunamai ki Jai. Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Hari Naam Sankirtan ki Jai. Brihat Mridanga ki Jai. Sama Vera Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Authorities, the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Glories Krishna. What do you want? Okay, so what we're going to do now, we should grab as many Bhagavad Gitas from here as possible. If not, you can get the shloka from your phone that you can do.
Okay. Because when he shows the camera, he wants everybody
Sitting on the chair, gotcha.
Okay, so I think that's it there. We'll find out what verse we're on. These are devotees from Halifax and sort of the East Coast in Canada, but we're now including the East Coast in the US. It's two corners, right? So it should be fun. And we'll make this as interactive as possible. It's nice to follow the book. I must admit, that's a good way to go. And we'll just get on board as soon as possible. Usually they're pretty much right on time. Thank you. And just want to let you know that we do these calls several times a week. One is that's hosted from here, right here in this household, every Thursday from 5 to 6. That is, what would you call it? Eastern Standard Time, right?
Yes.
And every alternative week we do, I have people in the West Coast for a call, and then the alternative, it's East Coast, what we're doing right now. Tuesday night is also a fantastic day for us. We got a lot of people on the call at 7:30 at that time. Hare Krishna. So if anybody, we usually share in the reading. So if you're up for it, just read nice and loud and clear so that these devotees over here can hear you. We'll ask them to do that on the other side as well. I don't know, I feel good here right now. So if anybody else wants to use it, you can. I think there's a Bhagavad Gita there.
Yeah.
Right there that somebody could use.
Yeah, if we are going to use the phone.
Oh, yeah, I don't think we need it. I think there's a problem when you have too many phones. Okay, Hare Krishna. Haribol Ambarish, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Let's get the volume up. Jai, so, and Vyas, how are you? Nice to see you.
Good to see you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Great, and it was nice talking to you the other day. I'm in a household in Florida, Alachua, Florida, where the alligators are all over the
You can
place.
sit on the chair.
It's not that bad.
On the chair.
And we're in the household of our Thursday night host is Vaishnavi and her loving husband, Anantashesh. And I'm not being sarcastic. So,
You want to come here?
so we have, in Halifax, we have Ambarish. And also, Halifax is the capital city of the province Nova Scotia. And also, he's our TP, that means temple. We got two temple presidents here in Fredericton, ISKCON Fredericton, which is the capital city in New Brunswick. I don't know if you've ever heard it. What's New Brunswick famous for? The longest covered fiddleheads. Fiddleheads. Try them on your pizzas. There's nothing like it. Yeah, or just with the fiddleheads, middle of May. Check it out. And also, the longest covered bridge in the world is in New Brunswick. And besides that, it's just a beautiful province. It's right across from the river. Maine is very close by. Right, Maine. Okay. Joy,
Said we do some snow in Nova Scotia, Maharaj.
I heard about the white stuff, the demigod dandruff. Okay, I don't see too many people over on your end. I hope it grows a little bit. We're good on our side here. I'll just sort of scan a little across. Look at all the nice people that we have here. These people live close to Disney World, so they have to be the happiest people in the world. I say that with sarcasm. And now, so I guess what we can do, as other people join us, Ronnie is there, great, Gorangi, and that, I don't know who PB is. It'd be good to see you. It'd be good to see you. Even if you're in your pajamas, we don't mind. It's quite okay. They're 1 hour ahead of us, by the way, so they're closer to taking rest than we are. So I think what I'll do is I will quickly introduce all our people here. We've got a devotee here visiting us from Germany, and your name again is Muller.
Yeah, Frank.
Frank.
My first
Frank
name.
Muller. From okay, and everyone can say their name loud.
Sankalpa Dasi.
Sankalpa.
Nitai Kamala.
Itai Parikamala. Okay.
My name is Jai Shri Krishna Das.
Jai Shri Krishna Das.
I'm Devala Das.
Devalas, good friend of Bhaktimarga Swami.
I'm Ranga. Karma.
Prahlad Das.
Ananta Sheshadas.
Don't forget your loving son.
Gopal.
Superstar Gopal.
Nitai Kamala.
Okay.
And
So it's a nice crew. I think we covered everybody.
Everyone
Thank you.
knows Vaishnavi Bhakti. She's famous.
Everybody knows Vaishnavi. She's our host on the Friday night, Saturday night. We have Hiren, who's our accountant, treasurer for ISKCON Halifax, right? That's true. Beautiful. And we got other devotees. Sri Ram. Okay, if we can show yourselves that we know. You're all beautiful people, right? Krishna made you. Mr. Karna, look at how beautiful that Kshatriya is. Look at that, you know. And go. Okay, great. So people have joined us. Let us start with our pranam mantras to Prabhupada. We'll do that together. The 2 mantras to Prabhupada, followed by the Panchatattva mantra, and then the Maha mantra. We'll do it together, okay? I know there's a delay when you're using this kind of thing, but anyways, we'll do our best. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Nama Om Vishnu Vadaya, Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swamini Namane, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Vasyajadesha Tarine, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We'll go to page 1 of the introduction of Bhagavad Gita as it is. And you just have to follow after me. This is what we honor as our invocational mantra. Om Jnana Tamarandasya,
Om Jnana Tamarandasya,
Jnananjana Shalakaya,
Jnana Shalakaya,
Chakshur Unmilitam Yena, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
You just have to skip the next verse and we get to the English for the translation of the one we just recited. I was born in the darkest ignorance,
I was born in the darkest ignorance,
and my spiritual master opened my eyes
and my spiritual master opened my eyes
with the torch of knowledge.
with the torch of knowledge.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Our host is Ambarish Prabhu. I know you have an Ambarish here, and you know you're a great grandson of Henry Ford, but we have our own Ambarish in Canada, okay? And they're both good. They're both solid, right?
Thank you, Maharaj.
All right. So he's our host, and he's going to point us out to today's verse. And so it's 3:7. Okay? And what I'll do is I'll just read the Sanskrit. I'll jump over to the English, read that. And if there's a healthy, wholesome purport, we'll ask a few people just to volunteer to read that. Okay? Everyone's on board? Yastvindriyani manasa.
Yastvindriyani manasa.
Niyamyararabhatirjuna Karmendriyai Karmayogam Asaktasa Vishishyate. And now we'll go to the English translation. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is by far superior. Okay, so the purport, we'll look at the whole length of it and see how much content is there. Are you? I thought you were moving this.
No, I cannot move that.
It's like one paragraph.
Okay, it's one pair. We'll get two people to read. Let's get somebody from Florida and somebody from the East Coast in Canada to read. How's that? Is that fair or what?
Haribol.
Okay. My eyes landed on Paramakarana. You can read the first, and then when I say thank you very much, the next person can read. Who is that?
Vyas Prabhu.
Vyas. Fantastic. Okay, you're on.
Instead of becoming a pseudo-transcendentalist for the sake of wanton living and sense enjoyment, it is far better to remain in one's own business and execute the purpose of life, which is to get free from material bondage and enter into the kingdom of God. The prime Swarta Gati, or goal of self-interest, is to reach Vishnu. The whole institution of Varna and Ashram is designed to help us reach this goal of life.
Thank you very much.
A householder can also reach this destination by regulated service in Krishna consciousness. For self-realization, one can live a controlled life as prescribed in the sastras and continue carrying out his business without attachment, and in that way make progress. A sincere person who follows this method is far better situated than the false pretender who adopts show-bottle spiritualism to cheat the innocent public. A sincere sweeper in the street is far better than the charlatan meditator who meditates only for the sake of making a living.
So I thank you for that extraordinary broadcaster voice.
Yeah, I was thinking narrator.
Well, he does, those car races. You're one of the announcers, right? Are you your MC, right?
Well, yes, in a previous lifetime.
Okay. And Vyas also would write speeches for the politicians in that capital city there, right?
Yes, and I was a broadcaster with CTV, one of the national networks here.
Sounds like
Long since retired.
I see. Okay, beautiful. Good. It's nice to get to know everyone. So look at the verse opens up with on the other hand. What is the other hand? Okay, the first hand we just talked about in the verse prior. And we're referring to people who are mityachara. Mitya achara. Achara means teacher, mitya means false. So we're talking about charlatan meditators. We're talking about people who are, let's say, not up to the mark when it comes to spirituality. They may give off a show of being spiritual. They're good. They could be exhibitionists. They could be good orators, and so on. But when it actually comes to living the truth, living what they're talking about, it's another story. So we're talking about insincere people. The way mityachara is translated, it's pretender. So this hand, the hand which is discussed in today's verse, is talking about people who are sincere. I know we grappled with this before. What does it mean to be a sincere person? And you'll probably find something like to be real, to be genuine, to be honest, and those kind of particular qualities. So such a person who is active in Krishna consciousness has a chance to excel. Let's look at the title of this chapter. It's called Karma Yoga. I'll say a few things, then we'll open up the discussion. Karma means action. That's to put it in simple terms. It can be good action, it can be bad action, but nevertheless, it's activity basically. And then yoga means to reconnect with God, with Krishna through your actions. And we know that if you're doing something that brings you to Krishna, then this is good action. Even if you follow to the T what's called Varna and Ashrama, which is mentioned here in the purport. Does anybody know what Varna and Ashrama means? Do you have an idea? Okay, let's put it simply like this. Varna refers to your career, your vocation, what's natural for you. You have to look at your psychophysical nature. What are you prone to do? What are you happiest at? That kind of thing. That's what we mean by Varna. Okay, are you a computer operator? Are you a farmer? I don't know if there's any farmers here. They're hard to find these days. Are you a counselor, Brahmin? Teacher? Those kind of individuals. There's 4 people in those categories neatly boxed into the Varna category. When we talk about the ashrama, we're talking about what age, what category you're in terms of your spiritual development. We were talking about Paramakarna, who's the handsome guy over there, fantastically American Jewish chap, right? And he was a brahmachari when I first met him 20 years ago. Now he's getting close to 50. So brahmachari is one stage. The next stage is grihastha, which you're in now. You have 2 lovely children, right? And a lovely wife. I can't miss her. I can't avoid
They
it.
left.
Oh, they left. Okay. And then you have some people who are getting on in their years. They decide, maybe in their 50s, 60s, let's slowly get on with our spirituality. And the typical lifestyle, what it looks like is they may go and travel together, husband and wife, go to sacred places in India, or now in North America, in ISKCON. And when you get tired of Disney, you just like what people around here, they just want to go somewhere else for a change and visit all the nice temples that are established by Srila Prabhupada, and we're growing, and then slowly one may spend less time with each other and get more into the mission of sharing Krishna consciousness. That last stage, sannyas, it's very rare, but it does happen for some folks, especially if you're Brahminically inclined, you like to teach, and you're just a good example. So this Varna and Ashram, I bring it out, I highlight it, because it's mentioned in Prabhupada's books probably more than Krishna, believe it or not. Yeah. Just like you think the word Krishna appears in Bhagavad Gita a lot. No, it's Bhagavan. Bhagavan, but Krishna is Bhagavan. So there's no dispute there. Okay, so we're just talking about being sincere in our endeavor. And, we had an experience, and sometimes people fall from the path. They're strict, and then something happens. They get a little derailed. And then this happened even during Prabhupada's time. And he was always happy to see that they spring back into action and continue on from where they left off. We even had some cases, like we have one sannyasi, he left, he got married, maybe he took sannyasa too early, and it was a little bit embarrassing, and he was ridiculed, and almost to the point where it was hard for him to come back into a temple. So Prabhupada was condemning the condemnation. And he was saying, you've made it so hard you can't come back. So he was just encouraging his disciple, who now is in the Grihastha ashram, which is going backwards a little bit. But the idea of whether you're brahmachari, Grihastha, vanaprastha, or sannyasa, in any of those phases, you fight Maya. You fight your senses, your ego, the illusory energy, and the mind, right? And so that's what puts you into that unique category. You fit into the Varna and Ashrama system. So let's go back to what we mean a little more, let's say relevantly. So let's say a computer operator, which is, where did he go? There you are. Okay, right. So I hope you don't mind me pointing at you. Devala, so I've known Devala for a long time. He's that handsome guy in the corner there. I think we've got you. And, but he's taught Mridanga to a lot of young people. His brother does as well, but we're just zeroing in on him right now. And Krishna is a focal point for you in your life. Am I right about that? I'm not twisting your arm.
I mean, trying.
Yeah, he's trying. So that's the qualification. You have to try. Prabhupada always said, anyone who tries. I'm looking at this mom. Where did she go? There you are. Everyone here is doing musical chairs. Excuse me. Okay. As long as you try, you're a Vaishnava. That's the main thing. And that locks you into the system of Varna and Ashram. And just to tell you a little bit more how Prabhupada fits into this Varna and Ashram, it was 1977. He wanted, even though he was not doing very well physically, he wanted to come to America. His chosen place was Gita Nagari. He wanted to go there to establish Varna and Ashrama, because he saw that some people couldn't stick to their vows, or they couldn't stick to those one of those categories. So the Varna and Ashram system is kind of a safety net. If you are tightrope walking and you happen to fall, there's a net hopefully down below, okay? Or you do some acrobatic thing. It's what saves you. This is what we mean by Varna and Ashram, and the slow, gradual process of getting up to the point of being Krishna conscious. Now, I think one of the most important words to underscore here is sincere. It pops up at least 3 times, and in the purport twice. And please remember this, have it etched in your head, this phrase: a sincere sweeper in the street is far better than the charlatan meditator who meditates only for the sake of making a living. Just keep the first few words. A sincere sweeper in the street is far better than the charlatan meditator. Full stop. Stop there. Good enough. Okay. So the idea is to endeavor very sincerely in your Krishna consciousness. That means when you have some doubts, try to go for clarification. That means if you slip and fall, just like we got people in Canada, we have ice. You've heard of ice, it's great in soft drinks, okay? But you can slip and fall. After you fall, you pick yourself back up. That's all. That shows you're sincere. You don't lie down on the ice and, oh, I guess I'll just stay here. It's too much of an endeavor to get up. But instinctively, you feel, I must work my way up again and just continue on. Sometimes some of the streets in the north, it's so icy, people crawl. You ever done that before?
No.
You ever seen people crawl? Oh, it's a blast. It's really a blast. Yeah. Okay, so we're talking about approaching Krishna consciousness sincerely, honestly. Take help. Don't be all just on a solo path. Don't fly your plane alone if you're not well equipped. I know one boy in Montreal, one of our boys, he trained out to be a pilot, and on his first journey alone, there was some mechanical problem. And he was in the countryside. Lucky for him, his plane landed in a haystack with snow on top of it. So he was kind of lucky.
Wow.
But you have to know how to fly your plane. That means you get strong and sincere with your sadhana in the morning. You rise a little earlier than the average person, get a little japa done, whatever you can accomplish, and do more than the regular person. I think that's what we're talking about. And when you do that, you're in the karma yoga platform. But it's a positive one. Usually when we talk about karma yoga, it oftentimes refers to karma kand, which means you worship devatas and demigods. Well, it's better to be there than to just worship yourself. Get behind the mirror. Oh, you handsome devil, you. You know.
Positive affirmation.
Positive affirmation.
Yeah. Just remind yourself, I'm not this body. I'm a spirit. Yeah, that's it. That is kind of like the bottom line. And it's always been a beautiful sentence that devotees have thrown around all over in the ISKCON world. I am not this body. And live it. That's all we're saying. Live it. Don't just say it, live it. Or try to live it. Once you try, then you see, I kind of like it. It's working. And it's like starting the engine. Let's give another cold example. Cold weather. Everything's frozen. Have you ever traveled up in the north and you've had those problems? Probably not.
Not in the winter.
Okay, not in the winter. So just try. That's how Prabhupada described a Vaishnava as one who always tries, never gives up. Okay, so we said a few things here. We're going to open it up for any discussions at all. Anything that was said by Krishna, anything said by Prabhupada, or anything that was said by yours truly. You could refute me. Please don't refute the other two. You can repeat what you liked, what you want to hold. And at the end of our little session, we'll do a little takeaways. That's usually our method. All right? So if anybody has any questions, those of you who are on the screen, put up your golden hand, the right hand, and anybody who's not on the screen, but who's here in person, you can raise also your golden hand. All right? With your golden heart. Okay, there we go.
There is somebody over there.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Well, I'm only jumping in because there was a little silence there, so I thought
It was a
maybe
little. It was a little. Go ahead.
So you mentioned gradual, and I think that's important. To have a practice and a process, and we live in a material world where we expect instant gratification and instant results. When it comes to living in this material world, it's a life of suffering, and sometimes through our meditation, we want to overcome that, and we spend our life looking for true happiness. And in order to find that, we have to rise above this suffering. But it's a gradual process in our japa and our reading Prabhupada's books, listening to lectures. All of these things happen over time. It's not like living in the material world where you snap your fingers and something comes immediately. But you have a practice. If you want to be an Olympic athlete, you just can't show up and run the race. You have to train, and it's the same in this regard. It's a gradual process, and we have to have a practice that we continue, and then the results will bear fruit in time.
Yes, beautiful. So we're talking about being a little patient with yourself, and I think that's a good point that's raised, and it probably resonates with a lot of us who are on this call right now. Does it resonate or not? I think everybody wants to be an instant sadhu, you know? It would be nice, wouldn't it? Where I can say, I can transcend now. If anything happens to me, I go right up to Krishna's lotus feet in Krishna Loka. But it's not likely to happen like that. We're still holding on to anarthas, undesirable things. We still have some lust. We still have some anger, greed, and jealousies that we hold in our heart. So it does take some time, yeah. And to take two words coming from the Lord Himself, Shanai, Shanai, that means slowly, gradually, step up, okay? Most of us are not Hanuman, where he made one leap over the ocean to get to Lanka. It just took Jai Ram, boom, boom. We can't do that. Our levels of success don't happen like that at the snap of a finger. It does take some time. Anybody else would like to say something about the gradual process? We've got Prahlad.
Well, not about gradual process, but something that we read.
Okay.
And
all right.
So
we're okay. We'll switch to something else. No problem.
So the point that was being made was about better to be a sincere sweeper than a charlatan meditator. And I like that point because our practice in bhakti is not trying to make us do something that's unnatural for us. Mm-hmm. It's like do what you're good at, something you like doing, and then, hopefully we find something that can also serve a purpose in this world and serve others, and something that we can make a living with. And then just do that to the best of your ability and connect it to Krishna, and that's the path. And it seems, well, that's very similar. It's interesting how different cultures all seem to have that same concept of dharma. Like in Japanese culture, they have a concept of ikigai. And it's the same thing. Like they say there are 4 areas. You find something that serves the world, that the world needs, something that you're good at, that you're passionate about, and that you can make money with. Okay. And that kind of, it sounds like dharma, what they're talking about. Yes, so it's,
or not from dharma. Yeah, you're right. Of course, a lot of these ideas came from India. If you want to trace it back, it probably came from there. Very good. Thank you for the participation. The prime example is Arjuna. He was born and raised, trained Kshatriya, and he used that to the best of ability. So I kind of astounded the whole world when Arjuna said, I'm not going to do it. And he tells Krishna flat, I'm not going to do it, Govinda. I'm not up to it. And then Krishna had to spend a few minutes to straighten him around. Said, one of his arguments, you are a Kshatriya, this is natural for you. Let's move along and do the work that needs to be done. Good, very good. Thank you so much. We appreciate these comments from our first 2. Let's show appreciation. Anyone else have some comments? We're also okay for moving to the next verse. Usually we find that time allows for at least everyone sticking to one verse and one purport. Okay, so we have Devila who wants to say something.
I appreciate what you said about doing what makes you happy as opposed to doing what you're meant to do, even though those might be very similar. But I like the nuance in that, like, for example, I realize that I'll be a lot happier if I do something that's lucrative, but I also enjoy it, but that it has that, like, a lucrative element to it. And so it's, I think that's an important distinction, that I'm not stressed out, that I'm not bothered, and that kind of resonate, saying that doing what makes you happy, so for me it was finding that intersection of, okay, I can make money with this, I also do enjoy it, and I find it valuable in society and stuff like that, and so,
Beautiful. Yeah, there's a lot of people quite confused these days. I don't know what my dharma is. You get that, especially when you're a little bit younger and you haven't had full life experience. Says, I'm not sure where I fit in. I'm not sure if I'm Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. But the simple answer is that it's instinctive in the individual. You just try a few different things, find out where you're most comfortable, what makes you happiest, which is most stimulating, and that's probably where you belong. And you can find out a lot about yourself by looking at where your parents are at, what kind of people they are. Not always, but oftentimes it is like that. You take on some traits from your parents. It is like that. But it does mean you have to poke around a little bit, try a few things, and you'll find out where you fit in. Just remember, Krishna has to be at the center of it all. Don't leave out the spiritual component. It's the most important thing for you. When all else fails, Krishna's always there for you. You might be at a job that you like, but what if the company goes belly up and you're out of a job? You know, you're just told, or that you're told, we're cutting down, and they call you in and say, I'm sorry, we won't need your services starting tomorrow. And then you get escorted to the main door, and it's goodbye. Time to say goodbye. Maybe even that song will come out to lighten the burden. Okay. So you have to be ready for anything, and that readiness comes from depending on Krishna. Okay, Krishna, I'm at a crossroads. What do I do now? Yeah. So great. Yeah, we got 3 people to give a voice, and that was really appreciated. We're open for more. Ananda Shisha is really good for questions and comments and so on like that.
I just want to make a comment. Out of the many things of wisdom that Maharaj has said, the one thing that one of those things that have stuck in my mind is, when in doubt, follow your dharma, and you can never go wrong. And I've quoted that to many people also. Makes sense.
Yeah, when you have a decision to make, or you're not feeling up to the task which you're asked to do, just stick to, again, your responsibility, what you ought to do. So when I was, the first walk I did across Canada, I was near Ottawa, and one woman pulled over and said, would you like a ride? I guess she just thought it was interesting, and maybe she's going through something in life, and that's usually when people stop. They want to get some strength, and they see a monk. And so I said, would you like a ride? And I said, no, I'm walking all the way to Newfoundland. I said, oh, well, why are you doing that? And I told her I'm doing this because I'm walking to promote Dharma. I said, well, what is that? What is Dharma? I said, Dharma means that we get back to basics, get back to the kind of fundamentals, and do what we ought to do, to simply be responsible with your duties, and you'll see beautiful things will come out of that. So after she heard that, she just kind of stopped. She sort of bent down like in prayer. She held onto my hand, and the traffic is whizzing by, and it's just like rush hour. And I was wondering, how long will she be meditating for? She just kept going. But it was an important moment for her, and I didn't want to just to destroy it, to disturb it. She had to think about it, and it meant a lot to her, just to do what you ought to do, and things will go okay. They'll go your way eventually, maybe not right away, but stick to your dharma, stick to what needs to be done. So eventually she let go, and then she was on her way. She was very happy to have met me. I probably had a small book I gave her, and she was on her way, and I was on my way. So this is the magic word, dharma. Dharma. If you got that fixed, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, say you're a student. What's your dharma? Like, you're a student, right?
Yes.
So what is your dharma? I'm asking you. What is your dharma?
To be educated, to learn.
Yeah, to learn. You have to get trained up, to study, and yeah, exactly, those kind of things. Let's say your dharma is you're a husband. So what's your dharma?
To provide for the family.
Yes.
And take care of the needs.
Okay, great.
And make sure that Krishna consciousness is shared.
Okay, that's a superior kind of dharma. That's great. Make sure the spiritual component is there. Like, if we go to the 5th canto of the Bhagavatam, Lord Rishabdev tells his many sons that the role of a parent is to deliver the children. What that simply means is that you have to give them a sense of higher consciousness. Okay. The role even of a foreman in a factory or a big business firm is also to instill in, we don't see it very often, but that person has a responsibility to deliver his or her dependents. So it's really quite, every teacher, same thing. Anybody in high position, frankly, if you're an adult, you have a responsibility to children, to the generation under you. By your behavior, you show how things should be done. You know, they're looking at you. The kids are looking at you guys. They're looking at you and say, what are they doing? You know, and I think I'll do it because I think it seems right and gives me satisfaction, gives me stability, safety, all those kind of things. So they look up, kids study adults like anything. So if you're a young child, your dharma is to observe, take good lessons from those who know more than you. What other example can we give? So let's say you're a cook in a big restaurant. What's your dharma? To cook. Yeah.
Oh, that's up.
And don't complain about, you know, you've got a job, you know, be happy, and you're relatively happy about it. So I'm mentioning this because a lot of folks they are quite confused, and even though they've got something going on in their life, there's something gnawing inside. I want to do something else. I want to do something more, you know. And please, all I can say is try not to be Bhagawan, you know. What do they call it? A jack of all trades and a master of all. Yes. Did you want to say something else, Vyas?
Yes, just quickly. People say oftentimes my job is to be a good father, a good son, a good husband, and a good employee. But if our primary purpose in life is to serve Krishna, then automatically we will be that good husband, that good father, that good son, that good employee. So sometimes we say, I have all these responsibilities. When I do all of these things, if I have a little time left over, I will go to the temple on Sunday and I will put some money in the box and I'll have darshan with the deities, and then I'll go back to my life and do all of these things. But if we are focused on Krishna and serve Krishna, then automatically we don't have to work at being a good father, because in order to serve Krishna, we have to be a good person. And so I think that's important.
Yes. Thank you. Well said. Bravo. Yes. Getting back to the point of demonstrating sincerity. Yes. Good. Thank you. Vyas. Anybody else that hasn't had a chance to say something? So it's Jai Krishna Ji, the guy with the good-looking handlebars there. I think that's what they are. Or they just sort of merged. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj. So
Do I have you? There you are.
following up on the point that Prabhuji just made, that by serving Krishna, you already fulfill the other good qualities that are required to be in whichever position you are. But then are these two mutually exclusive conditions? Meaning a person who is good Krishna devotee, he's chanting his japa and following, but is not necessarily, has anger issues. Yes.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, good point. I like that you brought this point up. Yes, you could be a good devotee to Krishna, but you could demonstrate qualities of being very Kanishta-like, which means you're not very advanced, because you're not demonstrating that love to others. You know, sometimes you have to put down your centipedes in order to change the diaper, or you have to deal with, you just, your 14-year-old daughter is pregnant or something, so you might have, instead of just ignoring it, you might have to sit down with her and have a good chat, or your son gets into drugs or something. So there's these other issues that are on a human level that we also have to address. So let's not just be kind to Krishna, but let's be kind to those other people around us that we call family, friends. Like that. Sometimes devotees misquote this one thing where if you're serving Krishna, Mukunda, the giver of liberation, you have no debts towards anybody else, that is demigods and ancestors and so on like that, and this and that, or to the world. But we shouldn't misunderstand that. Like we have to be pretty clean throughout, throughout. And if you are really a good Krishna devotee, you should be able to impress people, by your behavior. And we quoted this the other day, Francis of Assisi, who's kind of like lauded as a great saint who crossed borders, like it doesn't matter that he was Catholic or something. He just said, preach and use words. Use words if you have to. So you know what that means?
Yeah.
Through your actions, people will be inspired. It's not just by a sermon that you're going to change people's lives. It's more by your behavior. And when people look at you, again, people look and they observe and they're picking up on things, even though you think they are not. Like we have one devotee, she's in Cleveland and she was working with a big company. She's a little slightly older than most of the people. There's mostly younger men that are working there. And they come to her for advice, And why is she so stable in her life? Because she's got Krishna consciousness. So one thing that Prabhupada said, be conscious, and then first be conscious, then be Krishna conscious. Like, isn't it a fact, like we were talking about before, shouldn't we have a feeling for the environment? Shouldn't we be sensitive about it? At least have a feeling for it. Maybe and in our own home, we should have the power and ability to watch what we're doing with that garbage, for instance. Maybe we can narrow it down, cut it down, the packaging. Maybe there's a better way to do things, in terms of the green movement. So be conscious first, and then you can become Krishna conscious. Don't think it goes the other way around necessarily. Oh, I'll just be a good devotee. I'll be a good sadhaka. I'll chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, do my 16 rounds. I'll do 64 on such and such a day, blah blah blah, and then I'll fast on the Nirjala Ekadashi, etc. But then you're mean with everybody else. It doesn't. There's no consistency there. So when we say sincere, you have to demonstrate that throughout. Good. Does anybody else have any more comments? We still have a lot of people here that weren't able to say anything just yet.
I have to add one.
Oh, you got another one?
On that note, I think Maharaj, the 26 qualities of devotees will help, right?
Yeah. Yes, that's right. Go to chapter 16 from Bhagavad Gita. Maybe get a hard copy of those and stick them on your refrigerator, which is one of the more popular places that people go to. And they're all, and just say, am I working on this one? Am I working on that one? Check. Yes, go over them. Yeah, it's common sense qualities that we're talking about. Okay, good. Can we hear from anybody else? Even questions or any comments? Is there something that you like, you heard, you want to repeat?
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
thought, correct me if I'm wrong. When we say varna is the attribute and action, right? The guna and karma. So in the material world, so our consciousness.
Can you hear okay? Maybe speak up a little bit.
Okay. So varna is based on our consciousness, right? So in material world, in Krishna says there are 80 million
8,400,000 species. Divisions.
Every species is not just a body, it is a consciousness. So based on their guna and karma, they act in such a way. So they are all acting as swadharma, right? Their own property. If lion goes and attacks and takes the meat, And it doesn't, it is bound in that consciousness, and it is trying to act in that way. So everyone is acting in such a way that because of their own consciousness,
According to their own
they are
nature.
displaying their properties
Yes.
and
Yes,
their
sir.
actions. So when we are talking about Krishna consciousness, when our consciousness really elevates to a level, then because dharma is different for different consciousness of people, because they act on their own instinct, the nature. So in order to act on a set of the law of dharma in the higher principles, one need to stay in out of material consciousness and stick with Krishna consciousness, so that time only he is able to perform those actions. Otherwise, he will be still in the material consciousness.
Yes. Well, I just want to say, within that Varna and ashram system, which is meant for humans, we're talking many species. The only species which really, evolved human beings is for Varna and ashram, is for them. It's applicable to them. And within the system, you have teachers. We call them gurus, mentors, gurus, guides, And so just to be on the right track, it's just good to, to welcome someone into your life who's going to make that difference, Just somebody's got more life experience, and that's what will turn everything around from being just somebody who follows a routine, from that to a conscious kind of living where God is at the center. So we all have different natures. You just have to dovetail those talents in Krishna's service. Yeah, that helps. Anybody else then? Paramakarna, we didn't hear from you, did we?
It seems like there's sometimes a dichotomy between the sadhaka and then the worker. And as aspiring devotees, we might have been, when we were brahmacharis, more strict sadhakas, and now we have more responsibilities of working and providing for our family, taking care of our family. And we don't have as much time for sadhana.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So how do we really see it? They say we'll see your work as your service, but sometimes it's not as clear.
Yes. Well, it's true. Just on a practical level, I would just say, just to make a difference, I would just recommend something like this. Just get up a little bit earlier, or even 15 minutes. Get 1 or 2 rounds in there. Just do something a little extra. Reading a passage from the Bhagavad Gita. Do something that the average Joe Blow isn't doing, And that makes all the difference. Your little bit of investment, tiny as it may be, 15 minutes, even 5 minutes, has a major impact on your day. So just to make a difference in your day, so to make a distinction between yourself and the regular karmic person, just do one of those little sadhana things that are recommended by Prabhupada, Just do whether it's a little puja or anything, just insert a little bit more than what you're doing right now, and let it grow, And the reason why it's important to instill that in your lifestyle, because again, you've got young other people watching you, and it says, my mom, my dad, they did these things, and it made them peaceful. So I think I should try something like that as well. So again, kids are watching. They got their eyes on you all the time. Does that help?
Yeah. Prabhupada was influenced a lot by watching his father doing the puja. Right?
Yeah, he'd wake up in the morning. Prabhupada woke up in the morning to hear his father do the puja, So isn't that a beautiful thing to wake up to? I mean, the average person wakes up, the clock goes, and then it's coffee, might be coffee, maybe it's a shower, who knows? And
On a good day.
and then they'll play the worst music you could listen to, like a combination of, rock and country western mixed together, or heavy metal or something like that, or the worst kind of music that doesn't elevate your consciousness. So I was just saying, start the day on that beautiful note, that beautiful musical rhythmic note of holiness, and it makes a difference in the day. Start on a nice, beautiful tone, and it'll carry you through for the rest of the day. Yeah, the little bit that you give spiritually will make life so much easier. Nihavi krimanashasti pratyavaya nevedyate swapamapyasha dharmasya prayate mahatobaya. Chapter 2 from Bhagavad Gita. A little endeavor, pequito, little endeavor on the spiritual path will carry you through and help you to overcome the fears of life. Yeah, good. Do we have anybody else that didn't have a chance? Sankalpa, so I'll swing it over here.
What is if we do see older devotees, they are very strict with the sadhana maybe, and they follow everything, but they do display maybe anger or other not so pleasant qualities. So how do we explain it to ourselves and to maybe younger devotees?
Oh, yes, yes.
That's sometimes both these things are there.
Yeah, you're right. Which is something that you brought up too. Some people can be very strict with them. So there's a lot of fire in them. They're like Pitta conscious, fire, and they're hard on themselves and they're hard on other people too. It seems to me there's a lot of frustration pent up inside. They're not; those kind of folks are not so much willing to take help from others. They believe that I'm doing everything according to the book, and they can also come across as fanatics, instead of fun addicts, fanatical, and so it's it is a little bit of a problem. But it doesn't hurt to reach out to such persons through the level of friendship, and slowly, gradually, they may come to understand that this is a good way to go. Sometimes even between couples, I've seen it. She's very strict, he's not, or the other way around. And it really bears heavy on the relationship. So it's better let people coast along where they are at. Just be a good example. Don't be oppressive. Don't be abrasive, because that's not really a Vaishnava trait, But be easy on them, and they'll be impressed with your behavior, and it'll come around, But if you're 65 and they haven't got it together, they haven't picked up on it, then maybe it's pretty hopeless. But then you have to tolerate being with someone who's maybe not that great to work with. Because like at our medical association conference that we had in D-Land, one of the doctors was saying, whenever he got it from Steve Jobs, whenever people need people, so when people come together, expect two things: pain and conflict. Did somebody burp there? Or?
I think it was a laugh.
Maybe it was a laugh. Expect pain and conflict. But if you're not with people, expect pain and conflict also. It's just a different kind of, that's not what Steve said. The second part that I was saying. We know just from experience. So, but you grow in character, you develop character by just learning how to be with people. They give you light, they give you darkness. Yeah,
Sometimes, just on that point, it seems like, at least from what I've seen, just observing over the years, sometimes the people who are serious about being devotees and do their sadhana, but then also take time to have fun and relax or hang out and even play games or do things like that, or dramas, they tend to be more relaxed and just nicer to people around them. Whereas sometimes you see people that are like super strict about sadhana and it's like, got to do everything just right, but they take that time to hang out with friends or laugh or just have fun. Then they tend to just be more irritable. And
Yeah, they be real is kind of like what we're going for. And it's like, let's refer to something else Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. One should be temperate in the habits of eating, sleeping, recreation. It's all right to have recreation, which is a relaxant, right? And sleeping is necessary, not too much, not too little. Prabhupada always talks about, being, just regulated in these areas, and eating all these things, yeah. So don't be too hard on yourself. I would say don't be too much of a yogi. Do not be, let's say prematurely transcendental, Be kind of real, and remember, it's a gradual process, but don't be too gradual. I think,
Don't be lazy.
Like I say to some of our young persons, I say, okay, especially the young guys, maybe I pestered you about this before, Dave. I don't know if I did or not, but I usually don't. I said, okay, so you're 25, and I asked, what's happening? What's happening? And you know what's coming around, what I'm talking about. And the next phase, I'm just talking about settling down, and that's usually what I do with it. I'm a sannyasi, I can't ask the girls in our communities. But I ask the guys, what's going on, what's happening? If you know what I mean. Settling down, what's going on? And let's move along. Biologically, it's necessary. And then we give all the arguments. The genes, and that's right. And your parents, they want grandchildren. Help the world, populate the world with good people, because you're a good guy. You're a good guy, so you probably have good progeny. So the world needs good people now. So let's get moving. And every time I see them, I just say, what's going on? What's the latest thing? So my role in this, even though I'm a sannyasi, is let's push it a little bit, just nudge a little bit. Do what you're supposed to do. Don't get confused by the crazy philosophies that are out there these days. Just do what's natural, right? So either do that, multiply, or multiply in the form of being like a swami or a brahmachari, or but in between is what kind of doesn't work out. I hope I didn't step on any lotus toes. Yes, Anantashesha. Well, let's just say one last thing. Then maybe everyone can come up with a 4 words takeaway based on our discussion. 4 words, okay? So Anantashesha, let her rip.
Yeah, my question was, is there a day when, on his term, on what he mentioned, when somebody does strict sadhana and go do fun activities, is there a danger of, or like Prabhupada said, okay, you do it 16 rounds and you can do any nonsense you want. And what is the danger?
Well, when it comes to recreation, have your recreation with people who are also of the same mindset, spiritual people. Do it with devotees, like on the youth bus tour. We're all Krishna conscious, we all sing hymns, we don't go on party, we don't go to the bars, we don't do any of those kind of things. It's all, you just have recreation, and with Krishna at the center. One of my biggest loves is, I love to swim, and when we swim, we get a ball, it's a volleyball, we make a circle, and we just bounce the ball. We try to keep it off the water for 108 bounces. And anybody who fumbles around, we splash them to death. We have so much fun. It's so focused. You can't get us out of the water. And there's something more clean and fun than that, Krishna's the ball, don't let him get wet. All right. So thank you, Baru. Let us go and towards, let's ask your group over there, Ambarish, do you want to put everyone in the queue? You've been very quiet, like dangerously quiet. I'm wondering, everything okay with you?
All good, Maharaj. Really loved the class today. Learned a lot.
Well, no, it's a discussion. Sorry if I took most
Very
of it.
good discussion.
Okay, great. So let's get everyone in the queue to be able to say something. Four words. You can't go until you.
I'm here. I'm here.
I know you were in your watch. Okay, thank you.
I would request Vyas Prabhu, then Bhakta Hiren, Bhakta Karna, and then Bhakta Sri Ram.
Okay, great. So you got 4 words. Limit to 4 words, meaning sum up based on our discussion that these were 4 words that you're going to take home with you. You know? Okay. On your mark, get set. Vyas, you have to think about it. Are you on mute? Maybe he's on mute or something. I don't know. Okay, let's move on to the next person. He can always come back. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I think I like the word be conscious before Krishna consciousness.
Okay. Be conscious, then Krishna conscious. Fantastic. Thank you. That's good. Next.
Yes, Maharaj, my takeaway is don't be so gradual.
Don't be so too gradual. Is that right?
Yes, Maharaj.
Thank you very much. Okay, just limit it to 4 words, because even you say Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the 6 Goswamis, blah, 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 blah. Okay, just give us 4 words. That's all we want. Just 4 words.
Be conscious on Krishna consciousness, do dharma, discipline.
Okay, great. There was about 7 words there. Thank you. It's a discipline to do this, but okay, Mr. PV, whoever that is. I don't know. This has to flow. And I just want to say it has to flow, guys. Bang, 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 bang. Out with it. Okay. People have got to do it.
Gradual. That's the process.
Gradual is the process. Thank you very much. Yay. Next.
Then I don't know the name. W0496659.
Talk about being hidden.
Some person.
Yeah, it's
That's one word. Is one word. Is another word.
Dharma and
Dharma and
gradually
and
be conscious.
be conscious. Okay. It's a little more than 4 words, but we're going to pass you, okay? Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Next.
Rani Mataji.
Rani.
Gradual.
Gradual. Gradual. Oh. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Arshil.
Passion, compassion, faith, believe.
Say it again, please.
Passion, compassion, faith, and believe.
Faith.
Passion, compassion, faith, and belief.
Faith and belief.
Passion,
Okay.
faith.
Thank you very much. Bravo.
4 words.
Rajshekhar.
Gradual one thing and consciousness and one more thing Prabhu told 3 times try.
Whoa. 4 words. 4 words only.
Yeah.
Follow that discipline. 4 words.
Yeah. One more word. Not too much gradual. So that is actually
Not too much.
I was
Not
going
too
very
much
slow,
gradual.
but that is reminded me.
Oh,
Actually.
you don't have to give us a purport, Prabhu, please. Yeah. Thank you very much. Not too much gradual. Thank you. We're not everybody's used to this. People.
That is applicable to me, Prabhu. Not too much gradual, actually.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. Okay, have we covered everybody from the Halifax end?
Yes, Maharaj, I will put my realization is do your dharma joyfully.
Do your dharma joyfully. That's what we're looking for, that kind of thing. Yay!
Word.
Thank you for breaking the ice or melting the snow, whatever you do up there. Okay, Vyas, are you ready to jump in with the 4 words?
Be humble and tolerant.
Be humble and tolerant. Thank you. Okay, so Frank, is that right? Can you give us 4 words?
You think about it together.
However you want to do it.
Be yourself with Krishna.
Be yourself with Krishna. Jai. Haribol. Would you like to?
Okay. Please do your dharma.
Please do your Yay. Yeah, you got to the essence of everything. Jai Krishna Ji.
Karma yoga without attachment.
Karma yoga without attachment. Very good. Karma yoga without attachment. Yay, you did it. Woo.
Karmendriyaha karma yogam.
What
did he say?
Okay, thank you. It's a pass. It's a pass.
Make a gradual progress towards Krishna consciousness.
Make a gradual process towards Krishna consciousness. Make gradual process towards Krishna consciousness.
Gradual progress.
You probably
Make a gradual progress towards Krishna consciousness.
Towards Krishna.
Okay.
That's okay. I think it's a pass. It's a pass. Okay. Great. Paramakarana. Pahudvijana. Nitai Goda Chanda. Sababa. Okay. That's
Sincere
wonderful.
sweeper that are over charlatans.
Okay. That was well thought out.
Very good.
Follow passions towards Krishna.
Follow passions towards Krishna. It's very good. We understand. We understand. Okay, and we've got Vaishnavi.
Be sincere.
Be sincere.
Be sincere.
You need to do
Sincere,
4.
that's it.
That's
Be sincere, that's it.
You got it.
Can I borrow those two words?
No, you have to be original.
There's a
You have to be original.
Live and you are not your body.
You are not body.
Live it. I know I went more than 4, but I just said borrow 2 from
You could have saved live it for the next. Okay, good. So thank you very much. Okay, so my 4 words. We love you all. Okay. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. 2 weeks from now, we're on. If anybody from this group wants to get on board, we'll tell them either with this group or the other. After all, they are on the east. It's not the Atlantic provinces, but it's okay. It's all right. They're in the Eastern Front, so that's good. Okay. We won't hold this alligator things that you love so so dearly as your icon, but we won't hold it against you. Okay. So thank you. We've got moose up there, right?
Oh, yes, we do.
All right. So thank you very much. So Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Vipasanubhyascha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you very much, Bruce. So that's it. I hope that was fun.
That was fun, yeah.
His Holiness Bhaktimarga.
Hey, Prabhupada ki jai!
Yeah.
Gotta move it fast. Gotta cut them off.
That 1 hour went by so fast.
Yeah. It's always like that. Every time we get together.
Yeah.
Just goes fast.
And some topics, we discuss more. How can we get in the group? Maybe you can give us phone number.
Well, you're on the group already on Thursday. It's kind of up to you. But see, some people can't get on your Thursday group. It's 5 to 6. Doesn't work for everybody.